Well, hello, accounting students. Here we are in week 2, module 2 of the summer semester 2023. And a couple of updates. The first one is this whole thing right here that you've landed on. This will be the new landing page for the course. So what that means is when you click on your card in Canvas, that course card, you're going to come here first. Before you jump into the modules, it automatically dumps you off onto this page. What I want you to do is to scan this page and make sure that you've watched any videos that I've put up here, any new videos, any other news or announcements that I'll put in here, because it's very important for you to know if we make any changes to the course or clarify things or just in general make your life easier. So definitely watch these videos. Almost every time I run a course, we're going to make some minor changes because everything's different. We have different students, different time of the year. You know, there's always things that can change within a course, and it's always to your benefit. So make sure that you do watch these videos. I usually put out one video blog a week, and then also I might put in little snippets of announcements, text-based, in this area also. So make sure you review those before you jump into your modules and start working away. Okay. That's a little bit about that. Now, as far as these videos, what I tried to do is talk a little bit about the past, what we did last week, and talk about what we did or what we're going to do this week. So let's go ahead and get started. Last week. Okay, Module 1. You guys did a great job, absolutely fantastic job with the learning activity. Great work there. Do check out the feedback, check out the rubrics. But a lot of you got full points, and others, and then those of you got also some very good scores if you didn't get full points. But if you didn't get full points, check that out. You know why you didn't get full points. Usually, it means your answers aren't robust enough. So you generally want, about a paragraph of meaning behind each one of those questions. I don't want you spending 4 hours on this. But in general, I'll just kind of say in general, because students are like, well, how much do you want? Because you could literally write a book on some of these things. I would say about 2 pages of your content. Okay. Now, some of you rewrite the question. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's nice. Helps me remember what the question was when I go to grade. At least put the number of the question in there. But all those things that you add kind of, take away space. So I know that. So when I look at content, I look at your, what did you actually put down there and write? So make sure you get about 2 pages-ish. If you're going any more than 2, it's probably more than enough. You're probably done. Some of those questions will have multiple, A, B, and C to them. Again, have about a paragraph for the whole question. So it might be a couple sentences for each one of the subcomponents, as long as you're having about a whole paragraph of content. And that's where you got, usually where got points off is I'll see a student, maybe they just have, 1 or 2 sentences on a question number that really should probably be rounded out as a full paragraph. It shouldn't be too hard to find that information. Pretty low-hanging fruit to kind of hit those highlights. Have 4 or 5 sentences, boom, you're done, you can move on. All right, so that's it for the learning activities for last week. The quiz, again, you guys did a great job on the quiz, as you should do a great job on the quiz, because if you've noticed in the quiz instructions, you have 3 attempts. So everybody should knock out a perfect score. There are quite a few of them, but there were a few folks who didn't get a perfect score. So I was kind of scratching my head going, I don't know, so maybe you're busy on time. I don't know. But if you didn't realize it, yes, for almost, I think, all of our quizzes, we're going to allow multiple attempts. So use them. That's what I want you to do. You'll go in there, you'll miss a few, see what you missed, go back, get them all right, move on. At least you'll learn something in figuring out the ones that you got wrong. So I think that, that will help. All right, so a little bit about the quizzes. Again, multiple attempts allowed. All right, let's take a look at what we're doing this week. We'll move my picture off to the side, and we'll go into the modules. All right, so this week, Module 2. I'm shooting this as of Tuesday, so some of you may have already gotten started. We have a two-parter this week, and we do have a couple of two-part modules. Had to squeeze in some extra free content for you. So that's this week, and I think Module 7 will also be another two-parter. But I've kept the deliverables the same. So you don't have more deliverables, but you do have some more content to digest. And these deliverables will tie into that content. So we have another learning activity and another module quiz. So again, make sure you do, each, I think the, the quiz might have components of both in there. And I know the learning activity, I think, ties into, part 1. So make sure you are reading, both of those, as you're going through. I did notice there was, I think 1 or 2 students have reached out to me that they do not have the book yet. I hope and that was last week, I hope by this week that's been resolved. If you do not have the book, I do provide PDFs. I believe it's from the last edition though, but it's super, super close. So it should get you by at least for 1 more week. But I'm hoping that all of you at this point already have the book. If you don't, let me know. That's kind of an issue. So, and I'll just stand on my little high horse here and make sure that when you buy your books, you're buying them from a reputable bookseller. Again, I don't know for those students who bought a book, whether they're waiting on it, whether it was from the college bookstore, but usually I've found the college bookstore is pretty good, and though they're a little bit more pricey, and I found Amazon to be excellent as well. So, always have that book by the first day of class, if at all possible. All right, so that's what we've got going on for this week, another learning activity and another quiz. I do want to talk about 2 separate things before we end this video. The first one is just and I mentioned it in kind of the welcome video that I have for the class, but the objective of this course is not to make you an accountant. We're going to learn the principles of accounting. We're going to dabble a little bit in kind of accounting, I'll say, calculations and processes. I'll talk about that in a second. But again, the objective is for you just to kind of know, like, okay, here's the financial statement. I know where that comes from, and I know how to use that. Here's a number that I'm being provided. I know what that number means. I know the meaning behind that. That is what I hope for you to get, because you're going to be a manager. Some of you already are managers, and you're going to be using financial information, accounting information to make decisions. And you need to know, like, I guess, the context of that information in order to make good decisions about what you have to do. You're not going to be asked to make a balance sheet. You're not going to be asked to do an income statement. Now, in this course, we're going to dabble with that, and we are going to do some things like that. But this kind of hits into my second point, in that I've taught this class for, 12 years, maybe 13. And the way I've constructed it is that you can not get one correct, I'll say, number right, or math question, or accounting number question correct, and still easily get an A in this course. Absolutely easily. So I know some folks, when we get into some of that, more of the calculation phase of the course, they get a little, freaked out about it, because there is a kind of a lot of math phobia out there. Here's what I want you to do: relax, do your best, and show your work. That is really what I'm looking at. Even if you have the most god-awful wrong answer at the end of it, if I've seen that, you've tried to apply the principles that we learned through either one of the videos or through the textbook, you're going to get almost full points for that. Now, where I can't award the points, if I just see, let's say, a god-awful answer that's totally wrong, but I don't know how you got there, then there's nothing I can do. So definitely show your work. Screenshot, put it in a Word document, however you want to do it. Some students like pencil and paper, doing it by hand. Totally up to you. Spreadsheets, I don't care, but do capture those. Screenshot it, put it in a Word document. I do prefer things in a Word document versus just a bunch of JPEGs. But if you could, capture, if you're going to do PDFs or JPEGs or whatever, if you could put those in a Word doc, that makes it a little bit easier for me. But anyway, anyhow you want to get it up there, just get it uploaded so I can see your work, because that is really what I'm looking at when we do these more accounting-oriented things. In order for me to, to be able to award your points. But again, don't worry, because I know that, pretty soon we're going to be dabbling in some of that. And I know that's when I get a lot of emails or text messages because the anxiety starts going up. Again, super easy to get an A in this course without having one correct, number in there. All right, so that's two things I want to touch out. I'm going to throw one more bonus thing at you too, and I'll probably do this a few more times throughout the course. I do accept late work. I know summer is a hard time to go, to keep going to school. There's a lot of things that we, naturally just pulling on us, whether it's, doing things with the family or just, having some fun because it's, summertime or whatever else might be happening out there. It tends to be, there can be some more pull on students, as they go through the course. But so here's what I'm going to say is that I do accept late work. Just let me know. Say, hey, I pulled a double shift or whatever, and I won't be able to get this assignment in. Great, no problem. Have it in a couple days. I'm more than happy to do that. When I go to grade an assignment and it's not there and I don't know anything about it, then that's where I'm a little bit, kind of stuck. I still accept late work, but again, the deduction on points, you won't have any deduction, hardly ever have a deduction on points if we just talk about it and I know that it's going to be late, versus, it's just not showing up in the Dropbox. So there's that for you, but I do accept late work. And the key for this class, everybody wants to get an A. Here's a secret. Here's a secret how to get an A in this course. Do good faith effort and turn everything in. And even if it's wrong, if you made a good faith effort, looking at the textbook, looking at the videos, you're going to do really well in this course. Where students don't get the A and they either get a B, C, or worse is missing assignments. When you just have a missing assignment and I have a 0 in the grade book, that's a big deficit just to eat. So even if you have an assignment and let's say it was not your best work, but you got it in, but you still preserved a good chunk of that points. Sometimes the victory is just getting the assignment in. So think about that definitely as you kind of go through. Make sure you have everything in, as we go along. All right, ran kind of long on this first one. Hopefully our video blogs will be shorter, but that pretty much concludes it for this week. Remember, there's two good ways to get a hold of me. One is my phone number right up there. I think it is. I think it's above this video. Text me. I love, texting is great. I usually can get back to you very quickly, or old-fashioned email. That works as well. All right, everybody have a great week, and I'll check in with you with Module 3.